went quiet.
Be Love, My Everything, Part 3, featuring G Herbo. Designer, I'm Ready. You guys been ready for a while.
We're live.
What's going on, guys? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. We're Canadian, but we know it's American Thanksgiving. So everyone that's celebrating Thanksgiving today or this weekend, be safe, enjoy yourselves, and don't eat too much or drink too much. I'm joking. Do whatever you got to do. But happy Thanksgiving from the whole NFR team. So listen, it's another stream, another night. It's Thursday. Not too much as far as drops go. I'll read you guys some of the drops that are coming out tonight. I was just reading them out to Lou.
Yeah, there's really not much, guys.
It's such a dry night. Do you think it's the driest night that
I think it's the driest night of the whole year, to be honest with you, man.
Okay, so Lou, I want you to let me know, and guys, you let me know in the comments which one you would be bumping out of all of these. Okay, so we have Bones Scraps, I'm not sure. Rap Ferreira, the light emitting diamond cutter scriptures. Okay. 42 Doug, Can't Complain featuring Reaper. Tia Corin, Pussy. I'm definitely not bumping that. Then we have Lil Pump, Contacto featuring Nessie. Not bumping that. Snot Go, I'm going to bump that. Be Love, at My Everything, Part 3 featuring G Herbo. I'm not familiar, but whatever. I'll give it a try. Designer, I'm Ready. Young Faisal, Let You Go. And then Global Dan, Barbados.
There's also a Yo Gotti album that's coming out by the name of Free Game.
Oh, really? I didn't see that on the release.
And
so
it's cool to see him dropping an album because he's taking more of that mogul record executive kind of lane. So cool to see him dropping an album. But listen, guys, kind of a slow week. But apart from that, I mean, in terms of hip-hop this week, we did have the Grammy nominations. And that was kind of the biggest thing that we had going on. But yeah, apart from that, an update from us. We've just been working hard on end-of-the-year content. There's so much more of that coming your way, so stay tuned for all of that. And also smash the like button, help the stream get to more hip-hop fans. And let's actually get started with the first super chat of the night. We have an OG in Safe. Thank you so much for donating, Safe. And you said, yo, how's it going, boys? It's my birthday today.
Hey,
happy
salute,
birthday, Safe, bro.
Happy birthday, brother. Guys, happy birthdays in the chat for Safe.
Much love.
Everyone rip it through. But
so he says, it's my birthday today, so I need a kiss from Nick.
Give him a kiss, Nick.
Blow him a kiss.
Can't give you a kiss, but happy birthday to you.
Kiss him over the phone.
He says, and I love you guys. Make sure we're all smiling and always staying hydrated. We love you too, Safe. We always appreciate interacting with you in these streams. It's always fun. And you didn't drop a question, but if you do have a question for us, we'll be more than glad to answer it as we see it in the chat.
So, what are we doing tonight? Don't we have some different things to answer apparently on social media? So we put up a couple of things in different places. We put it up on Instagram. We put a different story. I believe
YouTube community
and
tab.
We did it on the YouTube community tab as well for you guys to send us in debate questions or anything you guys want answered. And of course, as usual, guys, if you want your stuff answered right away, please use the super chat. We'll be more than gladly to answer you guys first. And we hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Smash the like button if you are enjoying the stream so far.
Yeah, and if you guys are new to this kind of stream, the way that our Dead Wrong series works is that we actually put up a question asking you guys drop your hottest takes or just any hip-hop questions you have for us, and that's done on the Instagram, on the Twitter, also on the YouTube community tab. So it's always done about a day or two before the stream begins. So in the future, if you do want your questions answered, that's also another way that you can do it. But let's get started with the YouTube community tab. The first one comes to us from Abdullah Hahad Guman, who says, do you think Kanye is the most complete artist ever? He has the discography, production, influence, creativity, etc. So what's your answer to that?
Most complete artist ever? I don't think his singing's that good, if I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I think that's maybe like one place he's lacking on the artistry side of things. But
you need that as a hip-hop artist.
No.
Not really.
But if you want to talk about the most complete artist, there's a couple of different things to take into consideration, right? Like, I mean, when it comes to production and like rapping, like it's obviously A1. Catalog is one of the best that I've ever seen, but I don't know if you could call him the most complete artist ever. Like that would have to be an episode on its own for us.
I think he's maybe like no one else is really coming to mind for me. Like Kanye does have the catalog. He does have so many influential projects. So I'm not too mad at that take. But let's now move on to Joshua Turner, who says, what's more important, an artist's vibe / production or storytelling lyrics? I mean, I think that you need both.
You need both
to have a great song. If I had to choose, I mean, I can get a nice vibe or a nice beat from, you know, a Madlib instrumental album if that's what I want to hear. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the type of listener that I am, I'm always into storytelling. I'm always into someone giving me a taste of their lives, and lyricism is something that I kind of grew up on when listening to hip hop. So if I had to choose one, I'm going lyrics over production. What about you?
Lyrics over production? Shit. It depends the way the lyrics are delivered though, because I've seen some like lyrics be delivered in a different way that I'm not a big fan of. But I have to say that when you're looking at like lyricism and sheer production overall, what do I like better? It depends though, because my two favorite albums of all time are To Pimp a Butterfly in 2001. So you have the best produced album of all time, maybe with the best concept of all time. So I'm in the split middle. It really depends for me.
You have to choose one. Gun to your head, bro.
Shit, I got that escalated quickly. Let's do I'll do production. I'll say production.
Really? Wow.
Okay. I think that especially like it depends what the artist is able to do. Like there's a lot of songs where the lyricism is not too advanced, but I just enjoy the production so much that I'll go into it. But let's start off with another super chat tonight.
Shout out Lauren.
Thank you so much. You're an OG in the stream. We thank you so much for coming in tonight.
And thank you for putting me on to the Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan mixtape.
I saw that in the DMs. You finally bumped it,
bro. Yeah.
You finally bumped it. Anyways, we'll talk about it after we get through this. But do y'all feel rappers today are being true to originals and unique like they were in the 80s or 90s, or is rap a genre just oversaturated and too hard to get noticed? Love y'all. Hashtag NFR for life. We love you, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming in today. And to answer your question, I think that you could look at it into two different perspectives. Yes, there's the argument that, hip-hop has been commercialized and that it has been, a sort of lane where artists get cookie clutter and they use the same formula. But there's a whole different side to hip-hop in the underground and within certain artists where they're still delivering original concepts, where they're, delivering fresh new sounds that still haven't hit the market. So I think it's really like the way you look at it in a certain sense. That's at least the way I feel about it. But how about you? How do you see it?
I think it is a tough question to answer and a good question at that. I think that maybe we did see more originality from artists, let's say in the 80s and 90s, because the genre was so fresh. I mean, the first hip hop song ever came out in the late 70s. So in the 80s, it was still kind of developing. But in the 90s, we got to see different styles of production take center stage for the first time. And I think that the way that I want to answer this question is that yes, artists are maybe more original now in the sense that there's more subgenres to hip-hop as it keeps evolving. We see now there's more of kind of popularity with melodic hip-hop, and we also have subgenres such as drill, trap, and so much more. So there is room for originality when you're talking about coming up with new sounds. But let's say for an artist who wants to stick to being, let's say, a backpack rapper or being a conscious rapper, it is kind of hard to create a new sound because you're being driven, your songs and albums are driven by the lyricism. So to have a new style of production for that, it's kind of tough. So I feel like it's hard to be original if you're in that lyrical kind of lane.
Yeah, I kind of get that same vibe too. But listen, big boy Eric, $100 donation,
so much, Eric.
Dude. You have no idea how much that means to us. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And guys, listen, anyone that's in here supporting us, regardless of donations, whatever it is, you guys truly mean the world to us. And it's Thanksgiving in the States, and we did Thanksgiving already. I believe beginning of October. But for us, we're thankful for our community. Yeah, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to, do what we love, and we wouldn't be able to, have these amazing moments on the podcast, almost every single week. So I personally love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And Eric, it is super generous of you, bro. And if you want to answer anything, man, put it in the. I didn't see anything, so put it in the chat.
If you have a question, Eric, please do share it with us. But thank you so much for that donation. It really does mean a lot. But let's now go on to
Safe Again.
Safe Again.
Folding Clothes is a good song. It's all right. I mean, it's not a skip for me, but it's not like...
It's the weakest song on For
Your Eyes Only. It's the weakest song on For Your Eyes Only. Why do you think it is that, though? Maybe the concept behind it, or...
Yeah, the concept behind it of, wanting his wife to, fold his clothes and, take care of the house and stuff. It just kind of seemed a little unnecessary. If there was a skip on For Your Eyes Only, it would be that one. I'm not saying it is a skip, but it's clearly the weakest song out of the bunch.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. Let's go on to Blake M. Homer. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. We hope you're enjoying the stream. And you said, I'm a huge fan of Silk Sonic and mostly 90s hip-hop and R&B. Any suggestions of newer artists or projects that I might like? Let's do it, actually. Let's get him some artists that he might fuck with.
So listen, Blake. We're actually going to talk more about this in our episode that we have coming up on the most underrated album of the year. But one project that I really like that kind of captures, let's say, an older aesthetic is Don't Go Telling Your Mama by Topaz Jones. And the way that he fuses in, I would say, conscious lyricism mixed in with this funk sound is really amazing. So the name of the album is Don't Go Telling Your Mama by Topaz Jones. Very low-key artist, but you will not be disappointed, especially if you like these throwback kind of sounds. So that would be my recommendation.
For something more R&B, what I bump on the R&B side, Sonder Son by Brent Faiyaz, 2017 release. A little bit of rapping involved as well, not too much like whatsoever, but really R&B and soul. And I think Brent Faiyaz is one of the best R&B artists in the industry right now. So that's my favorite from him. If you've never dove into his catalog for the R&B side, that's what I would mainly suggest. And listen, I'm sure you've done Brown Sugar by D'Angelo, and you've done all kinds of older records. You've done a bunch of old different records, even like I Want You by Marvin Gaye or some old Rick Barry. But for the new age, like that's what I kind of gravitate towards.
Also, if you have not gone into Anderson .Paak's catalog, I mean, go listen to Oxnard, go listen to Malibu, Ventura.
Oh, crazy!
His whole catalog is amazing, especially if you like Silk Sonic. You would really appreciate that one.
But thank you so much, Blake. We really appreciate it. Let's move on to Vessel. Always an OG in here, always causing up some havoc.
Yes, sir.
We love you. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. We appreciate it. And you said top 3 rappers: Kendrick, Dax, and JID. Dax is a rapper that's been inspiring me for years. He dropped a 20-minute song that won't bore you on God. That deserves an NFR vid. Listen, I could go with the Kendrick and JID thing, but I don't know. I've never gotten into Dax's sound, and not my let's say my cup of tea, let's say, like if I were to have to go to rap. But how about you? Like, have you ever dove into Dax's sound?
I kind of see the appeal behind Dax. He's very unique in terms of the types of songs that he's making. Like, he kind of always has these very out there concepts, I would say, similar to the way that maybe a Joyner Lucas would write a song, or the same kind of way that someone like Tech 9 would actually deliver a performance. Like, I would say that he's similar in that sense. Good lyricist, just not really my bag. But apart from that, having Kendrick and Jid in your top 3 is a huge fucking W, because they're 2 of my favorite artists right now. And to hear that Dax has a 20-minute song is pretty crazy. Like,
that's awesome.
That actually intrigues me. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
who else has done that? Who else has done like 20-minute songs? That's a pretty cool concept. How do you even keep up for 20 minutes like that and
you
like
think
make
it's
it
all
original?
in one take?
No, it's impossible to rap like that for 20 minutes straight.
There's this one guy. What's his name? He did like a 4-hour like freestyle. Is it Harry something? Harry Mack?
I think it's Harry Mack that did it. No, wasn't it like a fucking 24-hour stream that he was just like, live? Nick, what was it? I
think it was a 24-hour stream. Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was, but like he was doing a crazy stream. Anyways, and anyone in the comment section, let us know where we went wrong with that. But thank you guys so much for the super chats. Let's keep it going. And if you guys want your chats answered early, feel free to use the super chat. We'll go through it. But next one, Lou, what do we got?
Let's keep going with the YouTube community tab. So this one comes to us from, hold on a second. Yeah, it comes to us from Array. He says, do you think Nav would have more potential if he gave more insight on his personal life in his songs and was more experimental with flows? I feel like he puts himself in a bit of a box.
That's true, though. He does put himself in a box. Maybe like staying static with his flows and deliveries and his cadences.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, like he's a fantastic producer. He's a really good producer. So I do have to say that, like, when you're looking at it overall, maybe he does, but like, what else is Nav gonna really go into? Like, he was known for that coming up, like kind of, the drug-induced talk and like the lean bars and the tab bars. Like, there's all kinds of different stuff that goes into Nav's lyricism. We'll put it in quotation, but that's kind of like where I see it. So how about you? Like, where do you think he could have strived more in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just maybe having a better beat selection, a more diverse one. Even though he's a great producer, like with Emergency Tsunami, that was refreshing because it was all Wheezy beats and they were all kind of very flashy and vibrant, and it was kind of cool to see him rap at a faster pace on that project. But to me, it's still his self-titled that reigns supreme over the rest. But let's now go into some questions that we got from Instagram. So this one comes to us from Eddie Graham _94, who says, predictions for who will have the Rap Radar end of the year interview for 2021.
Oh, that's good. But listen, we have 2 super chats to get to right before we get to that. Thank you to Safe again, OG always in the community, and you said Daytona best album since 2018. Ooh, that's a good take. I like that. That you said that with confidence. I'd put Swimming over it though. Swimming came out after. I would put that's it. I think I'd put Swimming over it.
Let's change the rules of this. 2018 aside, is Daytona the best album to come out, let's say, since that era? Like, was there a better album that came out in 2019, 2020, or 2021 better than Daytona?
No. I don't
think so either.
What would you genuinely put over it, though? Like, let's say you go to 2019, Bandana, but it's not a better Coke album, in my opinion, than Daytona. And then maybe Igor is a better album than Daytona, but still no.
Not really hip-hop.
And it's not even comparable. What else would you
2021, I mean, you do have some strong albums this year. You have Sometimes I Might Be Introvert that I might slot into that. But I mean, yeah, I don't think there's been anything better than Daytona. Like the punch that fucking packed in when I first heard it, like I was shook. And it was one of those projects where I'm like, this is an instant masterpiece just because of, the wordplay from Pusha T, the production from Kanye. Like, I don't think anything better has come out since.
Absolutely.
Besides other projects from 2018.
Let's keep moving on with the super chats. Thank you so much to Mega YouTube for coming in again tonight. We really appreciate it. You're always an OG and welcome here in the streams, and we hope you're enjoying the stream. And you said, I sincerely think that Russ is about to have a top 10 rap project this year with Chomp too. I'm going to forward this to you because I know you're a big fan of Chomp. What did you like about the first one, and do you think that this second one has the potential to do that type of damage for you?
I fucking love Chomp. I loved it, man.
It's a really good project.
To see Russ steer away from, let's say, pop-friendly tracks like he had on There's Really a Wolf or the other project, which I think is called Zoo, to see what he did on Chomp and actually flex his lyrical capabilities was amazing because it felt like an old school project from Russ because he was collaborating with DJ Premier for a production. He was collaborating with artists like Ab Soul, Benny the Butcher, and he was holding up. And a song like Momentum, guys, if you have not heard Momentum with Benny the Butcher and Busta Rhymes, please go check out that song because that will show you that Russ gets too much fucking slander. Because I'm telling you, I think Chomp might be my favorite project from Russ, and this next one is going to be fucking fire.
I'm down to see what happens with it.
Maybe we'll do a review if it gets
maybe
hype.
Maybe if it's like on that level, we'll actually do it. But again, bro, Eric, come on, bro.
You're being too generous
bro, this
tonight,
is
Eric.
way too generous of you, bro. $200 donation, bro. Jesus, man. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. As we said on the first one, man, like that's fucking unbelievable.
As content creators that really. We actually, this support on this level means so much to us, and it's one of the only ways that we could really, be supported. So it's amazing to be this generous with us, Eric. So thank you so much. And you said, does the amount of times a song is played factor in how good it is? So I guess he's saying, like, are your most played songs, in your opinion, the best songs?
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like that's what the question is.
I think there is a certain validity to that.
Eric
because
said, I'm broke now.
Fuck, bro.
Oh, man.
No, Eric, listen, thank you so much for doing this. It's really a pleasure. And to go back to your question, man, I want to say I think that there is validity to that because think about it. Like, why would you return to it if it's not, like, your favorite or it doesn't gravitate, towards you the best? But it's also, like, I know Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is maybe a better written song and better song than, let's say, BB King Freestyle. But on my replay value this year, I had BB King Freestyle over it. So it depends. Like, how do you feel about that whole conversation?
Does the amount of times a song is played factor in how good it is? It's a super good question. I think that in terms of an all-time favorite list, it does factor into it because if you're playing the song on repeat and not getting sick of it, it's for a good reason. But I also do think that there is an issue with overplaying songs because not for anything, but there is a lot of major hits that I've gotten sick of over the years. For example, a song like Sicko Mode. I can't revisit that song anymore because I've heard it too many times and it doesn't hit the same way no matter how crazy those beat switches are or whatever it is. So I do think it's a good point. I do think that it shows what your favorites are, but it doesn't necessarily correlate to how good a song is.
No, I agree with you on that standpoint. And everyone in the section, guys, right now, put a W for Eric. Everyone in the studio, clap for Eric right now. You're a massive fucking G, bro.
We appreciate
Thank you
Eric.
for coming
Thank
in
you.
tonight, brother. We really appreciate it. But let's move on with the next one. We have Got You. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. We really appreciate it. And you said, could you guys give Junior H a listen? He is well known for a Mexican melody corrido artist with a catchy ear-grabbing guitar strings. Even could collab with Ed Mav. Absolutely, sure. Let me take
Very interesting. So Junior H. I'm going to type him into Spotify.
I'm going to take a picture of this like I always do. And guys, listen, give us music recommendations. Like, we always love doing that with you guys. Lou was put on to some new Thugger, and I was put on to some new songs earlier. So it's always nice. You guys could drop them in, and I'll take a picture of them whenever I can. But Got You. I got you. I'll get through it. I'll end up going through it. But thank you for using the super chat tonight. Lauren, thank you for being supportive as always. Thank you for being so generous. And you said, I really feel Andre 3K is the best bar for bar rapper of all time, lyrically and poetically, and I never heard a bad verse from him. Even today when he vanishes for a year and he comes back. That's facts. That's a perfect take. I think that bar for bar, like, who do you put over him? Like, bar for bar, let's say. Or who do you put over Andre 3K as a lyricist?
I think poetically, the way that he navigates through a song and his vocabulary it's really immaculate. The way that he can truly make you feel his emotions through the poetic devices that he's using, alliteration or assonance, whatever he is. Like, he's truly a fucking poet. Like, some rappers are rappers. They're freestyling. They're doing what they're doing. But Andre 3000 truly is, he's painting a picture every time that he jots that pen down. And in terms of being the best bar for bar rapper, that's tough to say, because you do have artists like Black Thought that are in that conversation. You do have artists like an underground guy like Ka, who is just dropping these wordplay bars that are just insane with these triple entendres and so much more going on. And it's interesting to think that, like, if you look at Outkast's catalog, that wasn't always the main focus for Andre 3000.
That's true.
But he's shown time and time again, and also in 2021 on a song like Life of the Party, that he could kick it with the best of them. So is he the best bar for bar? I don't know. But poetically, I think he is the best.
Yeah, he's up. Like, I think it's him and Tupac for me, in like my opinion, for like the best poetic rappers.
And
that's
songwriting.
Exactly. But let's move on to Manasi. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. We hope you're enjoying the stream. Another OG within the community. And you said, what are y'all thoughts on choppy flows, and why do you think they're looked down upon? Who do you think does a choppy flow like that gets looked down upon? How about we start like that, so we have a basis to cover on? A really choppy flow that gets a lot of criticism.
I would say maybe Lil Yachty.
You think so? Like, sort of like offbeat, like a sort of like G Herbo sort of thing?
On Michigan, on the Michigan project he dropped, that wasn't too good. I mean, apart from that, Blueface is also often offbeat. But in terms of like choppy flows, it makes me think of maybe also like staccato flows, which like Eminem made fun of on Kamikaze on a song like, I believe, what was it? Was it The Ringer or Not Alike, where he kind of had that choppy flow, kind of imitating some of the newer gen artists?
I think it was Not Alike. I believe it was Not Alike. It was the verse where he dissed Lil Pump and a bunch of other guys. But
yeah, so it could work. I think some artists could pull it off, but when your whole catalog is just locked into that one flow, it kind of gets annoying.
Well, I think it also kind of gives the listener like a sort of gear on where you're at as an artist, and how you're not maybe as inspired to create different flows, different cadences, and go in with your stuff. But I don't know. I'm not really that mad at choppy flows. Like, I would definitely have to hear more examples of them to get like more of a basis of where it's around, because there's obviously different versions and iterations of them. Yeah. So for the most part, the thing is just maybe a thing of redundancy. But Manasi, thank you so much. We hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. And guys, listen, smash the like button if you're enjoying the stream tonight. And as we said, if you guys want your questions answered first, feel free to use a super chat. Eric has been an absolute G tonight and has, dude, I still can't believe that. That's awesome of you, really. And everyone else who donated. Like, you guys
really
are doing awesome.
Guys, because
crazy.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you.
Okay,
guys.
Listen, I have a question for you though before we get on with the rest of the super chats. We're dropping a new video next week on artists who need to drop before 2021. Ours that we really think should drop, and
before
then we get our predictions before the year ends. Let me know one rapper that you would want to hear drop before the end of the year. So we're almost there. We're getting into December now. It's November 25th. Let me know one rapper you would want to hear drop before 2021 ends, and we'll be taking a look at those. But let's move on to Colin. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. We hope you're appreciating the stream, enjoying the content, and much more. But you said Make Her Say Hey is the best song on Man of the Moon. It's a great fucking song, but I'm putting Alive over it. I'm even putting Intergalactic Love. I'm putting Day and Night, and I'm putting Pursuit of Happiness. That's like, and I'm
soundtrack to my life.
Soundtrack to my life.
Day and Night is also over there, even though it's the most popular song. Like, Man on the Moon has too many phenomenal tracks, and I like Make Her Say, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of towards the bottom half of the track list for me. If I had to rank the track list, it's really not like in the upper echelon of Cuddy's stuff for me.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a cool poker face, oh my god, I can't pronounce that word.
Jeez, that was
Iteration. I glitched, guys. I glitched in real time.
Iteration.
Yeah, but no, I don't think Make Her Say is one of the top songs off there.
But it's definitely a great track, though. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming in tonight, Colin. Let's go on to Blake. Thank you so much for sending us in another super chat. And you said, what label is better, Death Row or Bad Boy? Death Row.
Death Row for sure.
Like Nate Dogg, like Snoop Dogg, Tupac, like Dr. Dre in his prime. Like, there was just way too many good projects being produced at that.
Yeah, and it's sad to say that, like, Bad Boy is kind of still going on while Death Row isn't because of the whole Suge Knight incident. But I mean, overall, I mean, even now, I mean, who were the rappers coming up with Big Boy, with Bad Boy? Excuse me. You had MGK. You had like French Montana. Like, it definitely went downhill, but in its heyday, it was definitely pretty strong. You know what I mean?
It was one of the strongest collectives in all of hip hop for sure.
Remove Biggie. is it still the label that it was?
Well, wasn't Lil Kim a part of that collective as well?
Yeah, I think
Mace as well?
was also there as well.
Hold on. Let me not. Hold on, Luke. Keep reading these. I'm just gonna get up Bad Boy Records' original crew so we don't make any mistakes. But thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, let's now go on to Just Stuff. Thank you so much for donating tonight. You sent us in $8. We appreciate that. And you said rate Rocky's project worst to best. Mine would be Testing, Long Live ASAP, Long Live, Live Love, and then A Long Last ASAP. I think it's personally hard because I love them all. So yeah, at one point we are going to do a discography ranking for ASAP Rocky's catalog, but should we reveal our picks now to the people in the chat, or
how many? Fuck, I don't know.
Are we going to spoil our listing? I don't know.
I don't know if we want to spoil our listing. How about you give could we give like a certain sort of indication of where certain things are?
I don't know.
Okay, fuck it, we'll do it. I mean,
yeah, we'll just do it.
Okay, give yours. How about you give?
Don't spoil it for the other NFR supporters, but my ranking of Rocky's catalog. Wow.
Oh, by the way, Craig Mack, The Locks, Shine, and a bunch of other people were on.
The Locks, right? The Locks were on Bad Boy.
The Locks were on Bad Boy.
But I think that was short-lived. I don't think they were signed to Bad Boy for a minute. But nonetheless, my ranking. Do you have yours off the top? Because I gotta think about it a bit.
I'm going dead last. I'm going Testing. Okay, so wait, I have. Whoa, I'm glitching. I have 4 projects to rate. Okay, I have Testing. I have Long Live ASAP, I have Live Love ASAP, and then I have At Long Last ASAP. That's probably my ranking in order. How about you? What would you put?
I would have to go at number 1, give me Live Love ASAP.
Okay.
At number 2, At Long Last ASAP. At number 3, this is a hot take, but the more that I bump it, Testing at number 3.
Over Long Live
ASAP at number 4.
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure about that.
I know it has iconic songs, but
Goldie, PMW, like No One Train, like, you know, Phoenix, Angels.
I know,
like,
man, I know.
There's come on, bro.
Testing is really aging well with me, bro.
Loki, take it back.
I'm not taking it back. Fuck sleep, bro.
No.
Just fuck sleep.
I know. Yeah, someone said Testing the best Rocky. You could always make the argument. He has a really strong catalog. But thank you so much tonight, guys, for the super chats. Really appreciate it. But let's keep going with some other stuff from the YouTube community tab. What else do you have, Lou?
Actually, we have another super chat.
Oh, we do. My bad.
This comes to us from Nazir Lucky. Thank you so much for sending in $5.
My bad, by the way. I didn't see the rest of them.
Why KTS culture here? Do you know what YKTS is?
No, I have no idea.
Interesting. I have to look into that, but I wanted to ask, what are the biggest rap album snubs from 2010s to now? I think Culture 3, Whole Lotta Red, Voice of the Heroes, Man on the Moon 3 are snubs. I'm wondering if you're asking about snubs for the Grammys or just projects that were overlooked. What do you think he means by that?
Hold on a second. Let me see, because I'm just trying to find YKTS. I want to show YKTS.
I'm just looking through.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through IG if I could find anyone under YKTS. Let me go see my personal IG. Anyways, listen, if you want to further explain it, Nazir, go right ahead in the section. We'll shout it out. But you said YKTS culture here. Biggest rap albums from the 2010s to now, and I think Culture 3, Whole Lotta Red, Man on the Moon 3 was snubs.
Does he mean for the Grammys or just overlooked albums?
Overlooked albums. I don't think Culture 3 was overlooked. I think that it's really not a good project.
He's definitely a Migos fan. Look at the DP.
Oh, that's true. Nazir, I'm sorry, bro. I still love you, man. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Culture 3, but Culture 2 was solid. It was not that bad.
Wasn't that good either.
Whole Lotta Red over snubbed. I mean, just on our part. I mean, we're just not fans of the project, but I still think it gets a lot of hype. Man on the Moon 3, that got a lot of love. A lot of people fucked with Man on the Moon 3.
People wanted to see it nominated for a Grammy.
You think it deserved to get into that Grammy conversation?
It's probably the weakest Man on the Moon, part of that trilogy, but I still think it's one of the best psychedelic albums to come out in recent time. I mean, if you look at a song like The Void, like, just really mind-altering and mind-bending shit there. So Cuddy still got it at the end of the day.
He said Grammy snubs. He said Grammy snubs for this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would probably say Whole Lotta Red was actually like, I don't know, it depends. Like, usually like those types of projects don't usually get it. I could kind of understand why. But Whole Lotta Red like could make a case for being a great project. Like, I have no problem when I hear Playboy Cardi fans talk about it. It's just really not my aesthetic. But let's move on to Lauren. Thank you so much for coming.
We have Safe before Lauren.
Oh, my bad. Guys, I'm fucking up with these super chats. I'm so sorry. I can't I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat here. And Safe said, Too Many Gods, Rocky and Joey, insanely underrated. It's a fantastic fucking song, bro. That's a great fucking song, bro.
Yeah,
That's a really nice song. And I always wanted to see Rocky and Joey make more material. And I know the whole thing of ASAP and Pro Era coming up together in New York was prominent. So I always wanted to maybe see like a collaboration EP or maybe something different or maybe like a posse cut, you know, a bigger posse cut with them. But who knows? But yeah, Safe, thank you for the recommendation. Guys, go bump that. Let's go on to Lauren. Thank you so much again, bro. You're so generous tonight. And you said, well, y'all say Young Thug is one of the most unique rappers of our generation. Also, y'all heard Slime Season 1, 2, 3 by Thug, and which is the best? Yes, I've heard all of them. I would say
Slime Season 3.
Slime Season 3 is for sure the best. And most unique rappers of our generation, absolutely. The vocal inflections, the notes he's able to hit, the way his voice blends into the production, also his air to him, like the sort of style that he carries, his cadence. Like no other rapper does that like Young Thug. So I think overall, yes, one of the most unique to ever touch our generation. And man, when we're going to look back at like the 2010 decade and even in the 2020, because he's still so young and still putting out great projects, we're really going to look at Thug as a pioneer within this game.
If Thug maintains this run, he's going to be in that conversation for top 3 trap artists of all time. We already know that he's one of the most influential. I mean, look at artists like Roddy Ricch, look at artists like Gunna. Wouldn't exist without Young Thug. And like you said, vocal inflections, the way that he manipulates his voice is amazing. And honestly, Punk is a super underrated album.
That's
in
true.
my opinion. I think it gets too much hate. And to see him always switch up his style on that project, kind of going softer and rapping over some nice guitar strings, like really great shit. And Thug's future really, it has me excited, I want to say.
Absolutely. But let's move on to Parker Knepp. Thank you so much, bro. $75 donations. You guys are so generous tonight. It's amazing to see. Thank you so much for coming in tonight,
Holiday
bro.
spirit.
Absolutely. And you said check your DMs on Insta at the real PK Fire. Absolutely.
Okay,
And get back to me. I want you guys to succeed and give you all the connections I have in the music industry. My question is Big Sean's Detroit 2 in my top 3 of 2020. What are your thoughts on that album? We did a review on it originally when we were only doing audio podcasts, and we were big fans of the album. Like, we really enjoyed it. We wanted to see Big Sean succeed because he had also said that he was at a hard spot mentally and that he was at a dark spot in his life. So it was beautiful to see him air out his laundry like that on songs like Deep Reverence. I absolutely love that. And I think overall it was one of the most solid projects that I've ever heard. But Big Sean does have
one of
really
the most
nice
solid projects you've ever heard?
No, from Big Sean, my bad.
Okay. I thought you were jumping the gun there.
Guys, calm it down. But listen, he has Dark Sky Paradise, I Decided, Detroit 2, the original Detroit. Like, he has a solid catalog. So, Parker, you can make that argument that it is a top 3 project of 2020. It was really fucking solid, and we will get back to you on IG. Thank you so much for tonight, brother. We really appreciate it. But let's move back to Manasi. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. You're being super generous with us. And you said, who will drop the best verse in a posse cut now? Shit, I almost mispronounced that in a different way. And
P.U.
and you said Lil Wayne, Eminem, Kendrick, and Nas. Whoa. Who out-raps who here?
That's a stacked fucking roster.
Jeez, bro.
I think it also depends what era this is in. If we're talking about in today's day and age, I think that who drops the best verse? Okay, so you didn't say who, beats out the rest bar for bar. You said who drops the best verse, not Eminem. The delivery isn't there. He's kind of also getting lazy a little bit with the subject matter. So Eminem is kind of out of that race. Lil Wayne, if it wasn't for this crazy feature run, I would also take him out of that race because of a project like Funeral wasn't his best stuff. You kind of get some whiny delivery from him too. But Kendrick and Nas, I think that's where it really lies.
I'm giving it to K-Dot, bro. I think K-Dot's still in his prime. I think that's what I have to go with. Like, Nas is still spitting top tier, but we were having this conversation with Coleman, and he was saying that if you were living back then and you understood what Nas was dropping back then as far as the old catalogs, not that you would see the digression in his skills, but more of like the way that he was able to slow down tempo now, and now how he's trying to go for more knowledgeable content.
More meditative.
Exactly, he's more meditative in his approach. I think that once you get Kendrick in any competitive spirit, that he'll try to rip everyone apart. But then again, like, you put Eminem on a Forever and you see what happens. You know what I'm trying to say? But that was 10 years ago. So,
but I don't know.
I'm not sure.
In terms of being like the better punchline artist, though, I'm going Lil Wayne. So it'd be a big toss-up for me. But I do think that, like you said, Nas is kind of more in this meditative state. He wouldn't go as hard as he would have, let's say, in the 90s. But I like the answer being Kendrick. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
I'm going with Kendrick. But let's shout out Nick Duke. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. Another OG within the community. And you said top 5 favorite non-hip hop albums. I love this fucking question. Okay, we should do a video on this one day too, bro.
The first one that comes to mind for me is probably "Songs in the Key of Life" by Stevie Wonder. That's a different timeless classic that changed music forever. I would say "Thriller" by Michael Jackson. I know it's the biggest album ever, but it doesn't make it not good. I think that he went 10 for 10 on that project. So that's another one that's in that conversation for me. Apart from that,
I'm going to go with A Day at the Races by Queen. I'm a massive fan of that project.
The Wall by Pink Floyd's another one.
Yes. I would also go with Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. That's a big fucking record of mine. I play it almost every single day. Perfect for my work settings. I would also do... Hold on, let me see what else I've been bumping. I Want You by Marvin Gaye. That's a major fucking project for me. Also, like, listen, I could take I Want You. Hold on a second, and I could also take What's Going On and interchange them at any certain point.
What's Going On is the better project for me probably, but
I'm a bigger fan of I Want You. But either way, like that could be interchangeable. What else could I put into this conversation? Michael Jackson's Thriller is definitely up there for me. That's a massive project. Let me go see. Maybe this. I gotta see what's going on. Hold on. Probably like the Best of Bob Marley and the Wailers. I'd probably say like that's that's a project I really bump. I'm a big fan of reggae. Even some old Peter Tosh, depends the day, but that would probably be like my favorite, like let's say rotation.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Def Leppard and Led Zeppelin as well, so I'll visit them on the occasion. How about you? Any other albums that you would mention?
No, those are the ones that come to mind for right now.
Absolutely. But thank you to Nick Duke for sending in that super chat. We really appreciate it. And let's move on now to this boy Jesse. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And he said, "How's it going, fellas? We're doing good. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jesse. We hope you're staying safe and we hope you enjoy your weekend." And you said, wondering, who do you think is the most influential hip hop artist from the 2000s? Lil Wayne. If it was like, well, the whole Lil thing is kind of evident at this point. Plus, like, you know, the whole thing of like the face tats and the whole thing of like, you know, the punchlines and like,
if it wasn't for Wayne, it wouldn't be.
Exactly.
He said it himself.
I think it is Lil Wayne.
I think that, I mean, for better or worse, he maybe did also inspire a lot of mumble rappers. Like I know a lot of artists coming up that, you know, had the mumble rap type of flows and shit. Like they credited Lil Wayne just because what Wayne did oftentimes was focus on, let's say, the flair and the performance over the lyrical content matter. The only difference is that the punchlines from Wayne hit way fucking harder. The wordplay, the double entendres are more on an elite level than some of the rappers we're seeing nowadays. But also just that idea of pumping out content and pumping out project after project. Like Wayne is the king of mixtapes, and he really showed people that you can break out if you're consistently putting out solid projects. So to me, Wayne easily gets it.
Absolutely. But let's move on to Blake Homer again. Thank you so much, bro. You're being so generous with us tonight. And you said, rate Tupac's All Eyes on Me and the Don Illuminati 7 Day Theory from 1 to 10. Both, well, I would do All Eyes on Me, probably a solid 10. Like, I don't think there's a single skip on that. It's a perfect album. And the 7 Day Theory, ooh, what would you give that? That's more of like your realm.
7 Day Theory.
You'd probably have a more honest rating than I would for that.
I would probably go an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 on that one?
Yeah, but still one of the best posthumous records I've ever heard. And it's too bad that they really ruined the posthumous catalog afterwards. Like, the way they handle that with such little care, also kind of fabricating some of his lines and his voice for certain projects. Like, it was super sad to see that situation take place, but we have to appreciate Tupac's classics. And I mean, All Eyes on Me is just, like you said, it's a perfect album. There's no skips.
No, there is not a single
double disc album at that.
One of the first albums I actually started bumping like that, really. Like, it was really a big album in my listening. Still is at this day. But Me Against the World is actually my favorite Tupac album. I think he has 2 10 on 10s in my opinion. But let's move on to Kung Fu Kenny. I love that name. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And a fellow Canadian, thank you so much for coming in. We hope you're enjoying your time here. It's kind of getting cold in the country now. So hopefully you're staying warm. And you said Yachty recently did an interesting collab with Tame Impala. Would you guys like to see a collab next with Kevin Parker for a real banger, let's say? I'm always down for it. I mean, I haven't listened to it. I will take a screenshot
Yachty
of it.
and Tame Impala. What an odd combo that is.
I'm not sure how that would work.
Let me look up Yachty's Spotify and see if something was released like that, but that's really interesting.
That is an interesting take.
Like, would that be Yachty going into some psychedelic type production? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking it would be.
Well, it would kind of have to be if Kevin Parker's taking care of it.
I would assume.
Like,
yeah.
where else would you go besides like that sort of alternative vibe? Like, what would you do, right? Like, Kevin Parker's not fucking producing like trap 808s and shit, so it would probably be that.
Who would you like to see Tame Impala work with next?
Oh, fuck. James Blake, bro. James Blake is someone that I'd love to see him work with. I think that, well, I have no idea of their like collab catalogs, but if you have to ask me, like, if I want a song tomorrow, who would I want it from? James Blake and Tame Impala. I think that psychedelic production works so well with the way James Blake manipulates his voice in certain songs, especially the types of notes he's able to hit, the way that he's able to be eerie at certain times within his delivery. That's maybe who I'd want to see. But how about you? One rapper with Tame Impala.
Yeah, I could see James Blake, like his angelic vocals just hitting so nice with some very psychedelic synths, from Tame Impala. But apart from that, maybe Don Toliver. I could see Don Toliver going nice with him. Also,
that is facts.
A$AP Rocky would be interesting too with Tame Impala, just because he's kind of the king of psychedelic hip hop. So, yeah, that's what
that would be your pick. Okay, but thank you to Kung Fu Kenny. Thank you for coming in tonight. We really appreciate it. Let's move on to David. Thank you for coming in tonight, bro. We hope you're enjoying the stream. And you said favorite movie/TV show soundtracks. Oh,
wow,
that's good. The Black Panther is for sure probably my favorite.
Black Panther for me too.
That's probably the best like soundtrack I've ever heard from a movie.
I'm not too familiar, like off the top of my head, with other soundtracks and stuff, but
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say like probably the number one thing that comes to my head is Black Panther.
Yeah, I feel like it's the most iconic, maybe at least of our time. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, the score from Tenet, I guess, was good because you had The Plan by Travis Scott, which was a great song. Apart from that, I don't know. A whole hip hop, fully fledged soundtrack album. I don't know. Hip hop soundtrack album for film. See if I find anything.
What do you think's gonna come up?
Let's see.
Any movies that come up to mind?
Not really, to be honest.
Mark, could you pass me some water, please?
Yeah, no, I'm not. There was the boys in the hood. What else do we have? A lot of low key ones that I'm not really too familiar with, to be honest. But thank you for the question. We do appreciate it. Let's now move on to Lauren again. Thank you so much for sending us in another super chat. And you said, "Do y'all feel record labels ruin careers? Example: Young Thug all the way until So Much Fun sales wise was under 30,000 record sales. So who would you put the blame towards, and is promoting the most important thing?"
Oh, that's a good question. Listen, the whole record label conversation is kind of hard to have because, yes, obviously record labels do have a say in the way that artists are pushed, and obviously they are the platforms and the foundations to them, but it goes either way. Like, record labels have made careers, but they've also destroyed careers. And I think it's the same thing like sports management or management as a whole. Like, you're obviously not going to have the perfect track record. And I think also that when a record label will sign a talent, they'll sign them for an in the moment thing, and then once they realize maybe that the skill is digressing, or they maybe see the hunger isn't there as much, or maybe they just don't see the markability as much into the artist, that they'll kind of shelf him in a sort of way. So I think that it really depends on the type of management, but it happens in every industry. It happens within music, it definitely happens within film, and it happens so much in sports where big sports teams will take, like, let's say a bunch of athletes, and you'll have your pool of prospects, and this happens in hockey more specifically. In soccer, I'll reference to that. That's what I'm educated upon. And you'll have certain prospects that develop in certain conditions, but just don't make their cut. And another thing is that it's a business. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is real shit, and that if you have your analysts saying that you're not making money on this artist, at the end of the day, like, they're probably going to cut them because they need to make sure that they're making their cash.
Yeah,
so you could see it either way at the end of the day.
Do record labels ruin careers? I mean, sometimes they could be. I mean, Lil Uzi Vert had serious label issues to drop Eternal Take. We saw a similar situation with Lil Wayne to drop the Carter 5.
Birdman owed them a lot of money, man.
I know, man. In terms of Thug's situation, I don't really know what the record label situation was there, and if it was his own choice to release all those projects as mixtapes before So Much Fun. But I think it definitely hurt him in terms of, him making some bank. But apart from that, artists should just stay away from these 360 deals. They should really have lawyers present with them when going through these contracts, because you never know what you're signing away to. And it's so truly important to have to own the rights to your own masters, because we see that case often, especially with artists who unfortunately pass away, that they didn't have the masters, to their songs, and then the families can't really reap the benefits from the music. So it's very important to be educated on the business side of things. But with Young Thug's situation, I'm just happy that he's now putting out projects. But being an independent artist is a very respected thing, and more we're seeing that artists are crafting careers out of being independent. So
it's also cool to see the way that artists start getting smarter with their digital marketing tactics, because we all have digital marketing backgrounds here at NFR, and when you look at the marketing and the rollouts of artists, it's getting impressive now because people are figuring out how to use these third-party platforms in order to push and maintain and manage their music. They're also figuring out the way that these record labels are using certain budgets and tactics in order to push projects. People are learning the art of rollouts and the art of having sustainable post rollouts. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I think that always, like, anyone who's in this chat that does anything legally or business-wise, listen to me right now. Have someone present with you. Have some sort of legal authority next to you to be able to give you advice, because if you're not a lawyer or an accountant or a financial advisor and you don't necessarily have that financial literacy to go through your stuff, it's very fucking tricky and people will trap you. So it's very cutthroat, but as long as you're protected, you have nothing to worry about. But that was a great question. Maybe something we'll do in the future on the podcast. But let's move on to Nazir. Thank you so much again tonight, bro. We really appreciate you being super generous with us. And you said, should Tyler and Travis be in the best rapper of all time convo more? They have some of the most inspiration and most solid projects in a decade and definitely deserve their flowers even more. Nazir, I agree with you, but I just don't think in the all-time convo. I think it's too early to say so. Tyler has one of the best progressing discographies that I've seen. Travis is on an absolute tear, but the thing is that you got to see where both of them end up going with their discographies further and their careers further. So how about you? Do you think that they deserve to be in that all-time discussion? And if not, what does it take for them to be able to get there, in your opinion?
I think for Tyler, he is making a name for himself just because of the consistency of the projects. I mean, that 3-album run of Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost is one of the best runs of the 2010s decade, and the way that he's always has a concept to and really provides a fully immersive experience where you feel like, on an album like Call Me If You Get Lost, you feel like you're traveling with him as he puts you into the headspace of this character of Tyler Baudelaire. Like, that shit was brilliant, and not a lot of artists take that much time into planning out a project. In terms of Travis Scott, I mean, in an all-time rapper list, I don't know if I could say that just because he's never really shown his skills as a rapper. I kind of view him more as, let's say, a hip-hop artist, because he's never been that MC kind of artist. He's kind of focused more on the sonics. So we'll have to see how his career progresses, and for right now, they're both not in that all-time list.
No, I don't think so either. But listen, you never know what happens at the end of the day. They could be dropping more and more as the years go on, and could be making cracks and strides in that all-time list. But let's go on to Fidel. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. And you said, thoughts on Childish Gambino? If he were to revisit hip-hop and drop a project, do you guys think it will receive and sound well overall? I think so. He's a super talented artist, guys. Childish Gambino is an absolute G. Listen, because the internet is definitely a project that stands out for me in the 2010 decade. I still bump it to this day. So yes, if you were to come back and revisit, I would be more than glad to see so. And I would definitely review his album, even if it wasn't hip hop based. But how about you?
I absolutely love his music. I think that, because the internet awakened my love, so many great projects over the years, and one of the most versatile artists that we've seen, not only in hip hop, but in music in general. The way that you listen to one album and then you listen to another one and you feel like you're listening to two different people totally is mind-blowing. And just as a creative mind himself, the way that he's created one of the best shows out there with Atlanta, like, this guy is just a fucking genius in terms of the film world, in terms of creating cinematic projects as an artist. Like, there's nothing that he can't tackle and really execute super well. So shout out to Childish Gambino, and I hope that he continues to bless us the way that he did with groundbreaking moments like This Is America, or even super vibey songs like Feels Like Summer. Like, the guy's a fucking genius.
He could hit any range he wants, and
is he underrated, you feel like?
I think he is underrated. Well, I mean, he does get his commercial appeal, and he gets a lot of different looks, especially like from the whole industry, because he has his feet in different places. But yes, I'd love to see him return, and I'd love to see him drop another hip-hop project. But thank you, Fidel, for that question. Let's move on to Theron. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. Another Canadian guy in the chat tonight. And you said, hear me out, Sloth Thigh and Skepta collab album.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be super nice. And, if you guys have been watching the channel, we don't necessarily cover too much UK content, but we have touched upon Sloth Thigh's new album, Tyron, and we have touched upon different UK albums, like, let's say, Little Sims' Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. We even touched upon Dave's We're All Alone in This Together, a brief little video on it. But for the most part, I would be super down to review that. That would be a fun fucking album to review.
For Tyron, you're saying?
No, for a Skepta and collab album.
Yeah.
A Skepta and the Slow
That
Tie
would be
collab
awesome.
album.
And they do have a song together. They have the song Cancelled off of Tyron, and that was an absolute slapper because they have such energetic deliveries and performances all throughout, and they're almost shouting, but it still sounds pleasant to the ear somehow. So a collaboration tape would be fucking wild, bro. I'd be really in for that.
Okay, let's move on to the juice alert. Thank you so much. $20 donation. We really appreciate it. That's super generous of you. And you said, what are your guys' thoughts on Big Sean? To me, he's arguably top 5 in the game behind Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, and J. Cole at the moment. With his best work behind being Dark Sky Paradise. What do you guys think? Love the show, by the way. Thank you so much, The Juice. We really appreciate it. And we hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. And listen, I don't think he's top 5. I can't really put him in that conversation, especially with, let's say, the guys you mentioned there. I don't think that he achieves that. I think that he doesn't necessarily have, like, that magnum opus. Like, Dark Side Paradise has solid fucking slappers. Like, there's big-time bangers on there, but it's not something that, let's say, changed the game in any sort of way, or something that, like, you know, I feel as if could be compared onto the level of For Your Eyes Only, GKMC, MBDTF, Nothing Was the Same or Take Care. Like, I don't think it's there as far as that. Plus some other rappers that I put in front of him, at least in my opinion, ASAP Rocky, Schoolboy Q, Travis Scott for me. So overall, I think that he's really solid. I think that he's an OG in the game. He's been doing it for over a decade now. He's really fucking solid, but not top 5 in my books. How about you? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the first difference to look at is the fact that the guys you mentioned him, you know, within the same breath, such as Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, J. Cole, they all have classic albums, and Big Sean doesn't.
You don't think Big Sean doesn't have a classic?
Big Sean doesn't have a classic album.
You wouldn't call Detroit like a classic mixtape?
Not for me. I think he has good records, but he's never done anything to really put his stamp, I would say, on the genre. He's never done anything that was groundbreaking for the genre. I think that he's a pretty mediocre rapper.
Oof.
In all, to be, you know, as nicely put it as I can, I don't think he's all that great. I think that he's had solid projects. Sometimes has some corny lyrics. Sometimes tends to go for the commercial appeal on songs like Bounce Back, for example, off of I Decided. Just, he's never really done anything to wow me. As a lyricist, as an artist, as someone who makes smash hits, nothing's really ever stuck with me throughout the years. So while I do think he's a talented artist, he also has projects that I really don't fuck with. For example, Double or Nothing with Metro Boomin wasn't good. What You Expect with Hit Boy that came out this year, not a fan of it either. So I'm sorry, Big Sean just doesn't do it for me. Like
listen, I don't think that he's I don't think he's mediocre. I think that that's like not necessarily a good thing to say because he definitely does have skill and definitely has skill and capability. But for the most part, you know, just allows himself to maybe get too caught up within the commercial appeal. Like that's one thing that I have with his albums is that like, you know, especially like he popped off with Ass. Like, you know, how is that like, you know, like I mean, it's just you see the way that the music ages or like I Don't Fuck With You, you know, like. Those are songs that were great in the moment, but overall, you've seen the way that it's progressed.
I also bumped that in the club, though. I Don't Fuck With You.
I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about it. I've heard it way too many times, you know. But again, that's salute to him. So, Big Sean, I don't think he's in that top 5, but definitely a talented artist. Let's go on to Layman. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. And you said, what if K Dot drop a single Black Friday, All Right Too? Whoa. That would be absolutely massive, but I don't think it would ever happen, bro. He doesn't recycle his content. And he said that before about GKMC. He was like, listen, you know, I'm never going to drop a GKMC part 2. So to maybe take his most recognized single, I think that All Right is definitely maybe his most recognized song out of everything, or maybe his most impactful, and do a part 2 to it. Just doesn't seem like Kendrick's style, in my opinion. I think that he's kind of past that as far as discography and catalog goes. But how about you? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, on Black Friday, is that what he's saying? To drop it on Black Friday?
Yeah, he said a Black Friday. There's another Black Friday release, like did with J. Cole.
Like they did with J. Cole, where they both went over each other's beats. To drop an All Right Part 2, I agree with you. He would never do it. Just because, you know, Kendrick will never do something to please the fans in the sense that he feels and views himself as a prophet. Like, oftentimes, he feels like the words that come out of his mouth are things that, you know, he's been sent out to give as a messenger from God. So Kendrick will never recycle anything. I think that he might do a song similar to All Right, where he's discussing, you know, social matters that are very prevalent. But besides that, I don't see him ever replicating a song or even doing a part 2 to a song. I mean, even if you look at a part 2 like Money Tree's Part Deuce off of J-Rock's, you know, 90059, it wasn't even Kendrick's song. So it just goes to show that he'll never do a part 2 to anything.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever do it, but it is a good conversation to have. Thank you so much, Lamin, for coming in tonight. Myron, another OG within the community, bro. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And you said favorite In Your Feelings album. Oh, that's good.
Swimming for me.
Swimming for you to put
Swimming, yeah, that really that gets me in the feels for sure. Like,
I would go. I would actually go to Divine Feminine. I think that's probably like my in my feels. Like, am I talking like girl in my feels? Is that like what I'm talking about? Or I'm just talking like down or moody.
I think just feeling emotional maybe is the best way to put it. Like, swimming like really makes me feel everything that Mac's going through, from his headspace to that sense of loneliness that he has throughout the project. Like, I really in low times, let's say, I bumped that project, and it's kind of been a sense of comfort for me. So
yeah, I think in my darkest times, I've definitely taken swimming, but I think more like if I'm like with the ladies in my feel sort of thing, I would do.
Take Care?
Take Care is up there. I would do Chanel Orange by Frank Ocean. That's another one. Maybe 808s and Heartbreak, actually. That's another one of
with
my
the ladies.
You're
gonna play Pinocchio Story with
no,
with
like
the girls?
Heartless, playing like Heartless or Love Lockdown, bro. Like those are great like songs like that.
Yeah,
get in some Marvin's Room like that.
It's like a very depressing album though.
Well, I mean, Love Lockdown and Heartless are great songs to play within that time matter. It's like it directly speaks to the content matter. You know what I'm trying to say?
I guess.
Okay, so what would you play in your feels then?
In my feels.
With the ladies.
The ladies,
you're having lady
I
problem.
Take Care. That's the one.
Yeah, what are you playing off
Marvin's Room?
Marvin's. No, that's a generic answer. I know you got some more in that rotation. What do you got, bro? Stop going to Twitter's opinions for that. What else do you got?
Take Care with Rihanna, the self-titled track.
Luke is playing it safe right now. He definitely has some Harry Styles in that.
Cameras off of Take Care. Another one.
No, I'm fucking with you guys. No, there's definitely some great songs in your feelings. Let me know where your in your feelings song is. I want to see what you guys have in this. But listen, thank you, Myron, for coming in tonight. Let's go on to call in again. Thank you so much for being generous with us tonight. It's really fucking awesome of you. And you said, hold on, bro, I can't read. What's the acronym for this song?
IFHY. I'm sure.
I'm horrible with acronyms, guys. I'm really sorry.
Colin, please send it through to us through the chat, because we're not too sure what that acronym is.
Bro, how am I?
IFHY.
I'm trying to think about this. What do you think it is?
It's a Tyler song, so.
But I'm horrible with acronyms, so I wouldn't be able to get with it.
Interesting. Let me go through the catalog, maybe. So many projects to go through, though. Starts with an I. I'm going to run through this super quick. I Don't Love You Anymore, I think, right? Is that it?
Is that it?
Is that
Hold
me?
on, Colin. I'm just waiting for Colin's chat.
Hold on.
Oh, by the way, guys, sorry for pronouncing Chanel Orange like that. It's Channel Orange, but we're from Quebec, like we have some funny pronunciations sometimes.
No, it's not I Don't Love You Anymore. Hold on. I'm going to find it. I don't know why it's not coming to mind right now. Is it off a Wolf, maybe? It actually is IFHY off of Wolf.
Oh,
it actually
bro.
is spelled as the acronym.
Wow, that's a brain fart.
Honestly, yeah, it just didn't come to mind. And that song actually features Pharrell. Is it a top 5 Tyler song?
I guess it's not if we forgot about it.
Yeah, definitely not for us.
I mean, but that's an L on our part, guys. Like, sorry, you guys caught us lacking. Like, we definitely forgot about the song, but fuck, man. Yeah, no, we definitely forgot about it. But is it a top 5 Tyler song? Probably not.
I probably wouldn't have any songs off of Wolf as a top 5, besides maybe the one with Erykah Badu, Tree Home 95. But even that one, there's 5 better songs, let's say, on Igor, on Call Me If You Get Lost, or on Flower Boy, or on... Like, even, like, Bastard, that the self-titled track is fucking amazing from Tyler. Maybe even Yonkers, so...
Yeah, sorry about the mix-up, guys, by the way. We had, like, a little bit of a memory lapse there. But hold on a second. We're now at... Hold on a second. Where are we at?
Blake.
We're at Blake again. One more. Should I listen to Isaiah Rashad's album?
Absolutely.
No doubt. Don't even hesitate, bro. Go for it. Full 3 albums.
You think it's going to crack your top 10 this year?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I made that decision. I already made that decision. I was thinking about it. I'm like, is Lou gonna get mad at me for putting the houses burning?
Because we gave it what? Was it a good rating or a great rating?
It's grown on me so much, bro.
It has grown on me too, though.
Bro,
I have to
it's
give it that.
such a great fucking album, bro.
It might make my top 10 as well. Maybe it's in the mix.
I think I'm gonna have to put it in my top 10 albums.
Bro, in terms of a vibe, you will not be disappointed because you have these soulful productions. A song like Headshots just really allows you to lay back and just enjoy. I would say the very smooth and calm delivery from Isaiah, and the southern influence is awesome from Isaiah. He's just such a smooth rapper who glides on any beat that he's given. So definitely worth listening to, 100%.
It's a great fucking album, but let's move on to Alex Mills. Thank you so much for sending in a super chat. And you said, why is JPEG Mafia the greatest rapper of all time? I like that. You guys are asking us to review LP so much. When are we gonna do it?
We're gonna do it at some point. I don't know if it'll be a review. It might be a different style of content, but we'll have to see what it ends up being.
Hold on. Okay, let's go into some teasing then. Did we do some teasing on the stream tonight?
You want to do some teasing?
Nick, are we allowed to do some teasing on the stream tonight? He says
it's up
okay.
to Nick. Nick has to give the okay.
Nick says okay, yes or no. Okay, Nick says okay. So we'll say it like this. We're introducing a new sort of
format
to the way we I can't say that.
You don't want to give up too much.
I don't want to. We're introducing something at a certain point. We're still working on it. We've mentioned it on the Patreon plan a bunch of times. It will be on the Patreon. But yes, that's kind of like the hint that we could give you guys for.
Yeah, we're working on a new format that it's a type of format that you've never seen from NFR before. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the
true.
most I could give.
That's the most that we could
if
probably
you guys want to give in your guesses, go for it. We're not going to tell you if it's right, but it will be super exciting, and you guys will hear about it very soon. That's all I'm going to say.
I will say one more thing, though. You guys are kind of understanding what it is at the moment. I could kind of say that.
Oh, really? Are you seeing guesses in
No.
chat?
That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say that sentence there, and we're going to...
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That's exactly why I said it.
All right.
Because they're kind of like whatever. Anyway, so let's keep going with this. Let's do David Jordan. Thank you so much for the super chat tonight, bro. And you said, who do you guys think could pull off a fictional conceptual album, the best in hip hop? Example, The Incredible True Story. That was a great fucking concept album. But would you say Undone is like a fictional concept story like that?
Yeah, it's fictional, but it's something that could be seen into reality in a sense. Like it's a very... Like The Incredible True Story was like, him traveling to like another planet. So it's kind of super different, but that's why. I wouldn't say Undone is kind of in that realm, but an artist that could pull that off. Tyler, the Creator, is one of them.
Tyler, the Creator is one of them?
Because he takes me to a different world every time that he drops an album. So if he wants to do something that's kind of otherworldly, he could maybe pull that off. Who else you think could do it?
I have to think about a good lyrical...
What about Rocky?
No, I think... he's never been one to really go that deep with his content matter, so I wouldn't think so. I would say... That's such a good question. Logic is definitely that one guy that comes to mind because he's done it already, and he's kind of dibbled and dabbed into different sort of sides of that, but... Kendrick maybe. I think maybe Kendrick could do maybe a full fictional album. But I mean, he's always someone that likes to speak his mind on tracks, so I don't think that could be a thing. You need someone that's going to be able to really give you a solid storytelling album all the way through. So that's a good question, but I don't necessarily have anyone on top of my head besides Logic at this point. But let's move on back on to Layman. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. I'm super generous of you to use the super chat again. And you said Kendrick versus Drake, Ether versus Takeover, Nate who wins. Okay, so if I'm understanding here, he wants us to go for each of these battles
separately.
Okay, so Kendrick versus Drake, Kendrick. Ether versus Takeover, Ether, and then who? Nate. What is that? Nate who?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Nate means there, but Kendrick versus Drake. Kendrick 100%. And then Ether versus Takeover, Ether. What did you say for that one?
I had said the same thing as you, Kendrick over Drake, and then Ether over Takeover. Yeah,
is Ether the best diss song of all time?
One of them for sure. I think one of them. There's a lot of them out there though. But let's keep going on to Colin. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, bro. Another super chat. You've been generous with us all night, and you said 2 words. Kanye. Kanye's a sleeper despite mid mixing. Oh, what do you mean 2 words? You mean the song?
The song.
The song.
College Dropout.
Yeah, I know, but like, what about it?
It is a sleeper.
It is a.
Does that mean that people are sleeping on it, or that it puts you to bed? I'm always confused.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of because the thing is that like I thought like I got 2 words. Kanye is a sleeper. That's the way I kind of interpreted it.
I think he's complimenting it because he's saying despite the mid mixing, it's a sleeper of a song in terms of like people don't talk about it too much. So I think he's praising it.
No, 2 words is fucking fantastic. What is that?
It's one of Kanye's best fucking verses ever, in my opinion.
No, that's fantastic. That's a great fucking track.
What Mos Def does on there?
No, that's a great fucking track. I don't care about the mixing and mastering at that point. When you have that type of lyricism on there, no way. I think it's fantastic.
And the way that the flow is kind of double timed to match the whole 2 words. Like everything's broken down into 2 on that song, and it's just genius. Like one of my favorite songs. Top 3 in the college dropout for me.
Absolutely. But listen, guys, I think we're gonna end it here tonight. You know, it was fantastic doing this with you guys. You know, we've been on for an hour
but
or
we
so.
are gonna do some questions, a couple of more from the Discord.
It's true. We
and
missed
by
off
the way,
Discord.
guys, if you want to be part of our Discord where we actually are talking there 24/7, we're doing fun things like Ox battles on there. Head over to the Patreon plans in our description, and you can be part of our Discord chat. And like I said, talk to us on the daily. Also, we send in industry updates 24/7 on there. So there's a lot of fun going on in that Discord. So let's go on to a couple of questions here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. My opinion, this comes to us from Spectre, who is an OG, amazing channel on YouTube.
Oh, by the way, Colin sent in a super chat and said, "Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all ate good." Thank you so much, brother. We had our Thanksgiving in October, by the way, so we did eat good. It was
thank
fantastic.
you for the love, Colin.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
We did as well. So go on with Spectres.
Yeah. So Spectre, hold on, I lost it now. Damn. Okay, here we go. So Spectre says, "My opinion is that no active rappers are capable of dropping a To Pimp a Butterfly or Tetsuo and Youth level project.
Ooh.
I doubt Lupe himself could even top Tetsuo and Youth." So, do you think other artists are able to drop projects on that level? Active rappers.
Active rappers at the moment? No, I don't think so. I don't think we have a lyricist like Lupe Fiasco at the moment right now. Who do you even put in that same league as conversation right now?
And who could crack an album like To Pimp a Butterfly? I mean,
no, I don't think so at the moment. Like, I would be genuinely surprised. Like, I would be super happy to see that. But let's move on to the next one. What else do you have from the
this
Discord?
comes to us from 404 God, also known as Owen, an OG from the Discord. And Owen says, "You are an investor. You have to buy stock in one artist and sell stock in another. Who are you buying and who are you selling?" I'm going to say this. I had somebody in mind and now I just fucking lost
I'm
it.
going to buy on Moray. And I'm going to maybe sell. I'm going to sell the babies. I'm going to maybe sell the baby after a while. I think maybe people are maybe getting a bit complacent with his stuff. That would maybe be my thing.
I'm going to sell my stock in Smoke Perp. After Death Star, I thought he was really going to be
You should have sold
up.
that like 3 years ago, brother.
All right,
bro.
so I'll also sell some stock in Big Sean.
Oh,
I'll sell some stock in Big Sean, guys.
No.
Sorry to say it.
Lou's being a savage tonight.
I'm also going to buy stock in Kenny Mason.
Kenny Mason's
I'm
fantastic.
going to go Kenny Mason. Would you buy stock in Corday right now?
I think it's too high right now. Too high. He already has his debut project. People already know. Like if he was a stock,
people are
it would
on
be
the fence about the new project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but is he really gonna top the Lost Boys? That stock gonna skyrocket?
I don't think so.
Lou doesn't think so.
I hate to be pessimistic there, but I don't know. I don't have the highest hopes for Corday personally. We'll have to see what ends up happening, but yeah, I would buy stock in Kenny Mason for sure.
Kenny Mason's Chris Patrick. That's another artist I'd buy stock in right now. He's absolutely fantastic. But do we want to read out anything else from the Discord at the moment?
We'll do one more if you want.
Yeah, we'll do one more before we end it off tonight.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, people are like, "What is the Big Sean hate?" I know, bro. Lou's going on a rampage tonight.
Well, it's not hate. I just don't think that he's all that he's made out to be. I guess I think people overrate him, to be honest. All right, give me a second.
I think it's a situation either people underrate him or overrate him. I don't think there's anyone that gets like a really honest gauge on like where he's at. That's my take, at least, with Big Sean.
Yeah, I feel
But anyways,
you.
keep going.
All right, so shout out to Myron once again, who wrote CLB versus Scorpion.
Scorpion off the bat. We already did the discography ranking. I like it much more. I think that there's better tracks on there. 8 out of 10. Sandra's Rose. Is There More? Even Mob Ties is really good. I'm a big fan of that. But yes, that's my take. How about you?
Yeah, I
Scorpion
agree.
or
Scorpion
CLB?
over CLB, and I don't like the fact that it's a double-sided album, but I do think the highs are higher on Scorpion. So listen, guys, that wraps up the stream. Thank you so much for all the donations. Thank you guys for coming into the chat and just continuously supporting NFR as a brand, because without this continuous support and engagement on our videos on the weekly, we wouldn't be where we're at today. And in terms of next week's content, you guys can expect a video on our top 5 mixtapes of all time. You could also expect a new video on the rappers that we think will be dropping before the year ends. And our episode next week is on the top 10 features of 2021. So you guys do not want to miss any of that. Like I said earlier, thank you so much for coming into the stream. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Enjoy your nights and happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers.